Hi, this is Rachel with Pure Photoshop Actions, and I'm going to try this one more time. I'm doing a tutorial on how to swap heads really quickly. I'm kind of playing a little crazy because my kids are home, all of them. They're running in and out, so we've had a couple times where I've had to restart because it's gotten super noisy. So let's see if this is the time that's going to work. Okay, so what I have here is I have two images. I really love this interaction that mom is having right here with her daughter. I think it's just gorgeous. This is straight out of the camera. Um, this daughter is just so sweet, but I think she's looking over here at her dad, and it kind of brings us out of the image. But I love this interaction that she's having with her mom in this image. So I want to take the best of both of these images, and I would like to merge them together. So what I'm going to do is I just pulled this right out of the toolbar up here. Um, I've pulled it with my move tool onto the image I'm working with. I'm going to now minimize that image. I'm going to kind of line this up generally, and then I'm going to reduce the opacity of the top image. What I can do now is I'm going to control and the plus sign to zoom in. You could also use your zoom tool. I just like to use hotkeys whenever I can. I'm going to start to kind of line this up. Because of how I'm going to merge this, I want to paint her face in and kind of make sure that I have these like the clothes lined up, because that's where I'd like to stop. I don't want to go below that. But I feel like these lines are pretty much starting to look good. They're coming together. So here we have, that's our original image. This one's the one over it. We can kind of see the two. We know that we've lined it up. I'm going to come over here and click this Add a Mask tool. Do you see this? It's a rectangle. It's got a circle in it. That's your Add a Mask button. I'm going to click that. It gives me a white mask so I can still see everything that's going on. What I want is I want to cover up this top image so that I can paint just a little tiny bit of it in. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to click Control I. That gives me an inverted black mask. I've covered up that second face. I'm going to bring this opacity back to 100%. I'm going to choose my brush tool by selecting the B key. That brings up my brush tool. I'm using a soft, white, round brush. I'm going to make it bigger by using the bracket key. Right now I am using the right bracket key to make it a little bit bigger. I can also bring up the opacity so I can see what I'm doing, maybe about 29%. I'm going to start painting. As you can see, we're changing her face gently by hiding the old version of her face, bringing in the new one. We just want to make sure we don't leave anything over. Sometimes when you're painting and bringing that in, you can get like a second chin over here, or maybe like this hair starts looking funny. Like, see this hair right here? We're going to want to actually maybe we're making this smaller, and we're going to repaint this because suddenly this hair is like growing out of her shirt or something, which that's not natural. So we're going to bring that back in. There we go. We've masked that back in. It looks natural again. So, it's just a give and take, making sure that you don't leave little undone edges. But let's come back. Here we have, this is before, this is after. We've changed her face. Now she's looking up at mom. So we have this cute interaction going on where they're all kind of interacting with mom for that moment. So again, we have before, there's after. And this picture is just hidden under this black mask. We're only just using that little pinch of it. So now we can move on to editing this picture. But before we do, just in case we find something later on, I go, oh my gosh, something got messed up, something got missed, and I want to work on this again, but I don't want to have to swap it all again. I'm going to come over to my history palette. It's right next to my actions palette. I'm going to click this little camera. I have a snapshot now of this moment in time. So if I come back, I can take a second. Oh, there we go. I have some awesome messages. Okay, I can take a second and have this snapshot. I can come back. I will lose the editing that happens from here on out, but at least I can get back to this point. So whenever we get to a point we feel comfortable with, we can come back and snapshot it, and then we can always go back to that moment in time. We don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. That can really save some time. So for here, I'm going to say I feel comfortable with it. I'm going to flatten it. It's a little bit dark. Well, actually, first I want to crop it because it's kind of centered for me. I'm just going to bring it kind of down so that they're in that rule of thirds area. They're kind of over in the third here. I feel good about them being kind of, see that line, that third line is kind of intersecting right about there. I think I went over a little too far, so we're going to Control Z. Felt a little cramped. There we go. I kind of like that a little better. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go with here. Um, Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to, it's a little bit dark, so I'm going to do a general quick first brightening. Brighten that baby up. I might bring it down just a little bit because that's a little bit strong. Um, and I feel like maybe it made this grass a little neon. That can happen with grass. You need to be careful with brightening. Grass can quickly go into that. Woo, that's bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over again and I'm going to add a mask. I can click that add a mask tool. Um, so here I'm using my black brush. See how the black is the foreground? I'm clicking B for my brush tool. I don't really want it at 29% opacity though. My happy place tends to be about 12. It's a personal preference. I'm just going to paint this in, this black. So I'm hiding now that brightening effect on this grass. And I'm kind of keeping my eye on it to make sure it gets to a good point that I like. All right. There we go. Okay. So I've kind of masked that in. We'll come back and we'll probably use another action as well. Okay, because that's, like I kind of, actually, let's see. I think I masked a little bit too much on our faces when I couldn't see. So now I'm going to use my white tool to reveal it again. We're going to reveal their faces a little bit more. Make sure that their faces are what is showing. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to flatten it. Now I'm going to come over, I think, to turn out the lights, baby. I like that. And sunshine, baby, to further refine our light situation. I'm going to paint this into their faces, although I'm not going to paint it into the daughter's face because she's kind of broad lit and her face is a bit bright as it is. But I'm kind of bringing in their arms. There we go. We're kind of just giving it a little gentle lift. Then I'm going to bring in turn out the lights, which darkens, and I'm going to kind of gently bring in some of these tones again. Going a little bit fast here. Just so that they're kind of gently vignetted. I can come back and say, okay, I didn't want it quite so much over there. Take a little out there. All right. So I feel like I like that lighting situation better. Some things that we can do now just to quickly get this image to where we want it. I think maybe I'll go to my just a pinch set and do just a pinch of makeup touch up. You don't even have to be wearing makeup for this to really do its stuff. You can come over to facial features. Like obviously daughter is not wearing any makeup. She's just little, but she's got great eyelashes. We're just going to kind of give these facial features a little bit of punch, just a little. Oops, and I'm painting with black, so don't do that. Paint with white. That will really help. I was thinking, gosh, it's really kind of light. Okay, there we go. We're painting with white. We're going to bring in these facial features just a little bit more. See how we're kind of brightening it up just a little bit. Painting in daughter's eyes just a little bit. And her lips. All right. There we go. Okay, so their facial features are just a little bit more popped. And yeah, the kids are all coming in, so we're trying to see if we can make it through. I like that. I really do. I think maybe what I'm going to do is I think I want to just make it a little vintage. Oh, you know what? First, I think, though, I'm going to come down and do... Whoops, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. I'm going to come down to my set 2. I want to do a little bit of Cloud 9. I think that would be good. I don't really want the warming so much on this. I might bring up some warming with my just a pinch set in just a second, but I'm going to paint on some of this. I'm going to bring up my opacity a little. Going to paint on a little bit of softening. It already has pretty great bokeh, but just to kind of keep our attention right on this darling interaction, I'm going to paint that bokeh in, maybe even bring it down in the front a little bit. Okay, whoa, I got it all over the place. I was not being very fast, or I was being a little bit too fast. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to paint that out off of them. Yeah, so when you're painting this, like make sure that you're not trying to hurry too much. There we go. Paint this back in. Okay, there we go. So that just kind of gives us this feeling of the bokeh being a little bit richer. We're kind of looking at these girls and their interaction, and they're kind of the main group. Um, just one second. Sorry, my son is talking. Just one second. Michael, please turn that off and go upstairs. Okay, sorry. Okay, and then finally, I think we can kind of do a little bit of warming, maybe this pinch of warming here, and um, there we go. Okay, I like that. I just like that. A little bit of warming. It gives you that nice sunny feeling. And then finally, this pinch of brown. This is one of my favorite actions that we have in the new set. I'm going to tone it down just a little, but I really love that gentle vintage action that it gives. So that is where we are at with this image. It goes from, here is our first image, to by the time that we get through with all of our head swaps and everything like that, we are here. Fabulous. I love it. Okay, and we're going to call this good because I don't think I'll be able to get through a whole thing without somebody turning something on. So this is Rachel with Pure Photoshop Actions. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.